Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay?
Sir, why are you saying that to me, specifically?
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay, I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
Donald Trump has built his presidency on infamous clashes with the media.
Just a rude person you are.
What started out as rants on Twitter with his now infamous phrase, fake news, used to verbalize his dislike for any negative reports against him, has transformed to verbal battles with reporters during press briefings. Positive reactions from his supporters to his anti-media rhetoric only encouraged the president to heighten his attacks.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay, I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
These confrontations have been a constant throughout his presidency, but in recent months, they've ramped up.
Same thing with April Ryan. I watch her get up. I mean, you talk about somebody that's a loser, but she's very nasty.
Starting in the month of March and into April, the White House Coronavirus Task Force briefed the press every day with updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. President Trump was present at many of these briefings and often dictated which reporters asked questions and who from the task force would answer the question. As he was challenged by journalists on the government's handling of the pandemic, Trump's treatment of the media grew more malicious, especially towards female reporters.
Don't ask me, ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
Sir, why are you saying that to me, specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question. Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have two questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But by the way, not Americans who are also
Nice
coming
and
from
easy,
China.
nice and easy. Just relax.
So do you acknowledge that you didn't think
Keep your
it was
voice down,
going to
please.
spread?
Keep your voice down.
Did you?
Experts characterize these interactions between Trump and female reporters not as microaggressions, but microassaults.
It's not subtle at all. It's direct, it's in your face, it's a tongue lashing, it's meant to harm. And that's the definition of a microassault.
The president not only will use the moment with reporters to react negatively to their question, but he will also personally belittle the correspondent by slinging insults or bringing up their backgrounds.
You used to work for the Times and now you work for somebody else. Look, let me tell you something. Be nice. Don't
Mr.
be
President, my
threatening.
question
Don't
is-
be threatening. Be nice.
Is really taking a stab at the individual as opposed to saying your work was inaccurate here. Again, I have no problem with them targeting a story that wasn't accurate or wasn't balanced or wasn't fair. That is legitimate, but it is not legitimate to focus on that individual reporter's personality and who they are as an individual.
Although the coronavirus press briefing at the White House put Trump's treatment towards journalists in the public eye, his behavior has been consistent throughout his presidency and started as early as when he was a presidential candidate in 2015. One of the president's first notable clashes with a female journalist happened during a Republican Party presidential debate, which was hosted by Megyn Kelly and other Fox News journalists, the cable news network she was employed with at the time.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie
several...
O'Donnell. What I say is what I say. And honestly, Megyn, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
The moment was brushed off with Trump able to get the audience laughing by making a Rosie O'Donnell joke, but his true frustration towards Kelly after her line of questioning was quickly revealed after the debate.
I have zero respect for Megyn Kelly. I don't think she's very good at what she does. I think she's highly overrated.
You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Experts say personal attacks made by the president towards female journalists demonstrate misogynistic tendencies.
We know that he does not discriminate on gender with regard to his criticism and attacks, but we have particularly noticed the way that he attacks female journalists. And it's a very gendered attack, which really demonstrates some misogynistic tendencies that we see online and in the street every day.
The White House press corps is one field among many in journalism historically dominated by white men. So when the president targets women, specifically women of color who challenge him, it becomes more apparent.
You know, he goes after journalists and he goes after them hard. But I think when he goes after Black women, because their numbers are so few, it just stands out more.
The president could argue questions against him are sometimes unfair or present a bias in reporting that his administration doesn't agree with. But the way he responds through personal attacks and micro-assaults show a lack of professionalism in handling the press corps. At the time of this recording, the White House has not responded to our request for comment on his interactions with female journalists.
I think the press's work would be harder if he didn't behave the way that he did, if he responded to questions, or even if he said that question is not fair and here's why. I think the lack of professionalism is what's most troubling. It's not the fact that he's questioning, it's the way that he's questioning.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying that the president... I don't know why you'd say that. It's such a racist question. There are some people that...
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Hispanic
Caucus? Well, I would. I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours?
After more than 3 years in office, it remains unlikely that we will see Trump change his behavior towards the press, specifically women.
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question.